Welcome to our channel. Who needs a gym when you've got the streets at your disposal? You might not be able to jump on a treadmill anymore, but taking your exercise to the park and pavements has always been a far more rewarding way to build your fitness anyway. To that end, you need a pair of running trainers that can handle all kinds of weather conditions and terrain. They need to look good too. That's why we've rounded up the best running trainers on the market, from Nike to ADIDAS to New Balance, to ensure that you're supported along the way. The best running shoes or best running trainers, however you'd like to call them, have always been in high demand, but even more so nowadays. Before you continue, please click on the subscribe button below and press the bell icon for regular updates. Number 10 is HOKA 11 Carbon X. Packed with top-notch HOKA technology, HOKA 11 Carbon X's best-selling point is the carbon fiber plate providing a smooth transition through the gait cycle, combined with the signature HOKA cushioning. The Carbon X is ideal for runners with wide feet. The spacious but snug 4-foot platform provides support and stability, holding your feet just enough so it doesn't slide around the shoes, whilst the upper mesh offers breathability. And the looks. The thick sole profile drops only 5 millimeters from heel to toe, but the Carbon X seems agile and ready to go at all times. The embroidered heel not only reminds me of the Nazca lines in Peru, but it also provides extra support to the heels. One of the lightest shoes on the list, the HOKA 11 Carbon X is a formidable competitor. It can't match the Nike Vaporfly for pure speed, but it's usable across both training runs and races, and a fair bit more affordable. And you can actually buy it, while Vaporfly is now rather scarce, with people asking for silly money for it online. Number 9 is ADIDAS SL20. The ADIDAS SL20 had a somewhat unfortunate history so far, although it's only been out for less than a year. Announced in early 2020, the SL20 heralded the coming of the now widely used Light Strike foam, a light and responsive foam that now powers shoes like the ADIDAS Adizero Adios Pro, a record-breaking pair of speedsters. The ADIDAS SL20 is not a racing shoe, mind you. It might be super light and easy to run in, but it was designed for training as opposed to racing. It's not a problem though, as the SL20 is indeed an excellent running trainer that doesn't also cost the earth either. You'll find all the trademark ADIDAS features in the SL20, including the lightweight mesh upper, the continental grip outsole, and the dependable running performance. The biggest criticism we can offer is probably the lack of personality. Number 8 is Nike Air Zoom Pegasus 37. As fast as the Nike Air Zoom Alpha Fly Next Percent and the Nike Zoom X Vaporfly Next Percent running shoes are, they were admittedly designed for racing, not for everyday training. They are excellent but not suited for daily training, not to mention the Zoom X foam will wear off pretty quickly if you use the shoes often and not just for racing. There's a Nike running trainer that is supposed to complement the Alpha Fly Next Percent, the Nike Air Zoom Tempo Next Percent. But those shoes are for a very niche category of runners. People who are training for long distance races and would like to run the race in the Alpha Fly Next Percent. Number 7 is Brooks HYPERION Tempo. The Brooks HYPERION Tempo was announced in early January 2020 and didn't get the attention it deserves, partially due to the lockdown, and because Brooks is one of those brands only hardcore runners knows about. A shame, as the American manufacturer has a lot of amazing running shoes, including but not limited to the Brooks HYPERION Tempo. The Brooks HYPERION Tempo is a running trainer and works in tandem with the carbon-enhanced Brooks HYPERION Elite racing shoes. Both shoes use the brand new nitrogen-infused DNA Flash midsole, which is responsive, bouncy, and light. As it was explained to me on a press briefing in January 2020 by Brooks's Blue Line Senior Manager Nikhil Jain, the main aim of the HYPERION line is to reduce deviation from the ideal stride, which in turn results in better energy return and less fatigue even after longer runs. Number 6 is ASICS METARACER. The ASICS METARACER is a brilliant road running shoe that combines sublime ground contact feel, impact force reduction, and dynamic propulsion to create the best ASICS running shoe I tested in 2020, maybe even 2019. The flight foam midsole is soft under the heels and lets you steer your feet effectively, while the embedded carbon plate at the forefoot pushes you forward as you effortlessly cruise through your long-distance runs. let it be a race or a tempo run. The engineered mesh upper is flexible, following the contour of the foot closely, and despite the minimal amount of padding involved in these shoes, the METARACER is comfortable to wear and there's no sign of rubbing anywhere, even after longer distances. For the record, I haven't done a marathon distance in the shoes, in one go anyway. Number 5 is Nike React Infinity Run. The Nike React Infinity Run delivers on its promise, offering plenty of support in order to protect you from injury. The new Flightnet upper is comfortable yet firm, and there's no sign of chafing around the rear of the foot. The integrated knitted tongue and lace closure helps the Nike React Infinity Run follow the shape of the foot as closely as possible. Despite all the injury-reducing protection, a fast tempo is guaranteed by the Vaporfly-like rocker sole geometry that merges landing and takeoff into one smooth transition. Very little energy is lost, and your legs will feel fresher for longer. For beginners or people with interesting running techniques, the Nike React Infinity Run will significantly reduce risk of injury. Number 4 is ASICS NOVABLAS. The ASICS NOVABLAS is definitely one of the most exciting running shoes I've seen from the Japanese manufacturer in recent times. By no means is it perfect, but it still offers plenty for the asking price. The jumpy Flight Foam Blast midsole delivers a fun running experience, and wearing the NOVABLAS will also make you taller, literally, thanks to the 10 millimeters of added foam, which makes you feel like you have springs strapped to your feet. The ASICS NOVABLAS delivers in the looks department too. There aren't really any boring colors of this shoe, which is refreshing to see from ASICS. Even the mainly black variant has lime green highlights and blue laces outsole, giving the shoes a fresh and eccentric vibe. Number 3 is Brooks HYPERION Elite 2. When the original Elite was released in January 2020, one of the first questions that occurred to me was, why don't the Elite use the new DNA flash technology? I wasn't the only one confused. Not only that, but Brooks also said that the Elite's foam will only provide its second-to-none running dynamics for around 50 to 100 miles, which isn't much considering the Elite cost almost as much as most high-end running racers on the market. The Brooks HYPERION Elite 2 has learned from the mistakes of its predecessor. It supports the same upper and almost the same geometry as the Elite, but adds the DNA Flash midsole to the mix, which maintains cushioning and responsiveness for 300 to 600 kilometers, just like daily trainers, as Brooks puts it. The DNA Flash foam is also softer than the DNA Zero EVA foam, albeit a bit heavier. Even so, the Brooks HYPERION Elite 2 is one of the lightest running shoes on the market and weighs only 215 grams, which is only marginally heavier than the Elite's 195 grams. Number 2 is SAUCONY Ride 13. Not all of the best running shoes are performance trainers. Sometimes all you need is a pair of cushioned running trainers that won't torture your feet when you finally decide to go for a run once again after having 3 months off exercising. And if you're one of those recreational runners, no shame in that, the SAUCONY Ride 13 will be right up your street. SAUCONY moved away from using the ISOFIT technology, which is great news as it was one of the main reasons why I didn't particularly like the predecessor of the SAUCONY Ride 13, the SAUCONY Ride ISO 2. With the ISOFIT system gone, SAUCONY also returned to the original numbering sequence, hence why the next shoe in line is not called Ride 3, but Ride 13. But let's not get caught up with naming conventions, as the Ride 13 has more to offer than just a simpler name. Number 1 is UA HOVR Phantom 2. The updated UA HOVR Phantom 2 is a great beginner running shoe. It is comfortable, somewhat responsive. It can even provide runners with running tips thanks to the built-in Bluetooth transmitter and the accompanying Map My Run app. No need to buy an expensive running shoe and a pricey running watch straight away. It's probably no wonder that Under Armour recommends the Phantom 2 for beginning runners who have their sights set on running their fastest mile or running a mile without stopping. You won't see the Phantom 2 on the podium at running races, nor will you use it for interval training or more strenuous VO2 max runs. That's it for this video. Be sure to comment below and let us know which running shoe helped you get your best performance run time ever.